welcome. We're here with another Chalk Talk with Tony. I'm your host, Tmzoids, also known as Tony. Today's guest, we have Anthropophobia, also known as Laura. How are you doing,
Hi.
Laura?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, doing pretty good. So, first question, as it is, you got this super long name, and I thought I couldn't say it, but I think I did pretty well. How'd you get the name, Anthropophobia?
I was really interested in phobias like a few years ago, and yeah, I know some other phobias I wanted were already taken, so I took this one. And it also pretty fits to me because it's the fear of human beings. And I hate like crowded places and being around many people, so yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. It's kind of interesting because you stream, but you hate people. Well, not hate people, but
Yeah,
you're
I'm
kind of scared.
afraid. It's like, but they're not with me. They're like
So large crowds get
far
you
away.
like panicked.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's very interesting. Are you going to school for phobias? Are you going to be like something with science with phobias, or
No, I'm an engineer right now.
you're an engineer? Man, fast. Give me some of that money. Making the big bucks here.
Yeah, so I don't have to see many people at work.
Is that the reason you picked engineering, or is there?
Yeah, I always wanted to do something with computers, so
Okay, very cool. Cool, very cool. So going from that, since it's video games, we don't want anybody to panic here. Back to the original thing. So, how old were you when you started playing video games? A lot of the older interviews, if you've seen any of them, they mention family. They like that's where they kind of started. They play with their brothers, their mothers, friends.
I think I don't know how old I was, but ever since I was born, my parents had this Super Nintendo. And I always played like Mario Kart or Super Mario World. Yeah, and then I had my best friend with, I don't know, I was 5, I guess, and we always played like Pokemon together or, yeah, Nintendo 64 games. And yeah, my first um console, do you call it like that?
Yeah, the console,
Yeah, was Nintendo GameCube.
Nintendo
And
GameCube.
I think I was 8 at this age, so I always played video games.
Oh, wow, I'm feeling really old. You're like, oh, my first console was Nintendo GameCube, and I was 8. I'm like, oh god. I feel like I was older, like a teenager when that came out. But um, interesting. Let's go back just a little bit. We should address this at the beginning, I thought. Mix up here. But you're from Germany.
Yes.
You're from Germany. And do you plan on moving to the States or moving elsewhere? Your English is pretty good. You're pretty fluent in
Uh,
English. Is it required? I know I talked to somebody a while back, and it's actually required in school that you take English classes. Is that the same in Germany?
I had my first English class in year or grade 3, I guess. And yeah, it's been like 10 years now.
Okay. Do you plan on moving anywhere else in the world, or do you plan on staying in Germany, or
I plan to study in America, the
st-
US. Yeah, maybe
computer
computer science.
science, America? Do you plan on going back to school here, or you just once you move here, you're just gonna go right into the job field?
I want to go to university.
Hmm. It's very interesting experience out here. I think it's a little bit different than other places in the world, which I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
But just going back to video games now, I figured I addressed that first. So your parents played Super Nintendo, and you played Mario a little bit on there, or your first actual video game experience was actually the GameCube?
No, I had a what is it called? Gameboy Advance, and I also played on the Super Nintendo before. So yeah, actually, it was the Super Nintendo, but the GameCube was the first thing I bought myself.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So we'll start with, I guess, the Nintendo, the handheld one. Can't remember. Just I think it was just called Nintendo, wasn't it? Nintendo
Gameboy
Advance.
Advance.
Yeah, Game Boy. Why can't I remember that? So Game Boy, you said you played Pokemon. I guess the first question there is, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Psyduck, because he's as confused as me.
So you like Psyduck. I'm
Yeah.
guessing you're more of a water type Pokemon person then.
No, actually, I'm a fire type Pokemon. And
So you're the more Charizard kind of fan. I'm guessing.
I like this. It was the third gen, I guess. A starter Pokemon. Uh, I don't know what it's called. In German, it's called Flamly. Yeah, I
Lemley.
can Google it. Um,
Was it like a birdie looking?
yeah,
Yeah, I know
a
what you're
small
talking about. I can't remember the top of my head what it's called though.
Torchic.
Oh, there you go.
Torchic. Ah, it's so cute.
So you're playing Pokemon, and did so you say your parents got you into video games?
Yeah.
So you play Pokemon. What, any other games that you played on your Game Boy Advance?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Yeah. And I also played a lot of The Legend of Zelda.
On your Game Boy Advance?
No, Super Nintendo and GameCube.
Oh. So starting with the consoles, I guess then, what would be your favorite game on the console, like GameCube game, I guess?
I think it's Tales of Symphonia. I
Really?
don't know if you know that
No,
game.
no, I don't. What is the basis of that game? Like, what do you do?
It's about a chosen one who gets sacrificed to an angel to save the world, and then they find out that the angels are evil and you have to fight them, and it's a long story.
So it's like an
But it's so,
RPG.
yeah, it's so cool.
So you're playing GameCube. Did you play with a lot of friends, or was it just like you're by yourself?
No, just with my mom or by myself.
It's really interesting that your mom and your dad played video games and kept playing video games, especially when you were
Yeah,
born.
my dad stopped playing after the Super Nintendo, but my mom still plays video games. She even watches Pokemon and Digimon and
Really? That is
yeah.
really interesting. So does she play with you like recent video games? Like if you have like PlayStation, or does she play games on the computer?
No, she only plays on the Wii, but she plays alone at the moment because I don't know. I'm more into my PC at the moment.
Fair enough, fair enough. So okay, going back from the GameCube, what would be your next? Did you continue playing on the console, or is this when you started playing computer games, or
I sold my GameCube for Nintendo Wii. Um, and I played on my Wii, and like 2 years ago, I got my PC and started playing on it.
that's interesting. So you never had a PlayStation or Xbox?
I bought myself, oh no, I got it for my birthday, PS3, but I don't really play on it.
Wow, you're probably freaking a lot of people out. You're like, oh my God, Nintendo, Wii. Uh, but no, it's interesting because a lot of people usually they start with a Nintendo usually, and then they go to like PlayStation or Xbox. But it's interesting you stick with the Wii. Um, you didn't seem like you're a big fan of the Wii. You're like, you got it, and you're like, eh.
I only bought it because the second game, like for Tales of Symphonia, was for Wii. So I sold my GameCube and bought a Wii. uh,
Fair enough, fair enough. So would you say you're more of a Mario fan than a Sonic fan?
yeah.
Dang. Look at all those Sonic people are like crying right now. They're like, why?
I never really played Sonic, so
Fair enough, fair enough. So you didn't really play any PlayStation games, which I find it interesting. Did you play online on the Wii? Because I think that's the first Nintendo console that can go online.
Yeah, Mario Kart, and I was pretty good.
Did you find it shocking? Was it like interesting that you were playing against people like across the world, or was it not really a big phase for you?
It was cool because every time I saw someone playing from Japan, I was like, oh my god, they must be so good, and I always beat them.
So there's like this almost like stereotype that if they're from Japan, they
Yeah,
should be pretty good at the video game. So what did you say that was your favorite game? The Sensorous Can you say it again? The
Tales of
There you
Symphonia.
go. Is that your favorite game throughout the GameCube and the Wii, or has it changed?
Yeah, it's my favorite game for the GameCube, but the second one wasn't that good, so.
Uh,
But I'm also a huge fan of The Legend of Zelda,
okay.
so it's hard.
Would you who would be your favorite character in Zelda?
I loved Midna
Really?
from Twilight Princess, yeah.
Interesting. It's not the stereotypical, oh, Zelda or Link. It's like an outside character. Um, so you're a big Link fan, so you say you're more of an RPG person, right, at this moment? Like
Yeah,
playing games that have like a certain story, go through it, you gotta fight, battle.
yeah.
And then the online, it was interesting, it was cool to you, but it wasn't like a big shock, I guess. Not too,
No.
no. So you went
I don't
from, oh, go ahead.
I don't think the Wii is a good console for online gaming.
It probably is not as interesting as like you'd be on PlayStation or Xbox. You would be like screaming at people on your headset,
Yeah,
like
you
the whole.
don't have that.
So continuing forward, so how did you get into the your PC? Did you just want to play computer games? Did your family play? Or your friend was playing, and that's how you got into PC?
I always wanted to play Counter-Strike, so I told my mom's friend who was building my PC, I want to play Counter-Strike, but you have to build me a PC which can do it. So he did. I waited like 1 or 2 years for this fucking PC. Oh, it was such a long time, and then I finally got it, and I played Counter-Strike. And it was awesome.
Talking about building PCs, have you ever considered building your own PC in the future,
Yeah,
or
I did
like,
like half a year ago, my
wow,
current one.
wow? Do you do you like building PCs? Is it interesting? Would you continue building a PC, or in the future would you go back to buying or getting somebody else to make you a PC?
I would consider doing building it yourself because you can always change parts, and it's also a part of my job. So
Yeah, that is true. That's true. So going forward, you wanted to play Counter-Strike. Why did you want to play Counter-Strike? Just because? Well, how did you even hear about Counter-Strike, I should ask?
my best friend was playing it on his PC, and I was watching him play it. Yeah, and then I wanted to try it, and I don't know. I only played gun games and the zombie mod, and I don't know. I never really got into it, so
So you never really got into Counter-Strike. Like you wanted to play it, but you never got it.
yeah.
So that's where you started. You started changing your style, I guess you would say. You're more of a shooter type now. Since Counter-Strike didn't work out, what game did you go from Counter-Strike now that you have a semi-good computer to play games?
Yeah, I think it was League of Legends after this.
Really? That's like a complete jump. You went from like shoot RPGs to shooting to like a PvP multiplayer online battle game. It was interesting. So was it the same reason your friends were playing League of Legends or you saw League of
No,
Legends?
it was because of my ex. He was like playing it all the time, and I was. I don't know, I hated it at the beginning, and then he said like, yeah, try it, and I said, okay, I'll try it. And I think I played League before in like season one,
Hmm.
but I didn't get it at all. So
It,
then he showed it to me, and yeah, I got into it, and
it usually seems like that happens. Like people tried it like really early, like when it was like season one or it's still in beta, and then people are like, I suck at this game, I'm never gonna play it again, and then they end up coming back. It's kind of funny. So you started playing because of your ex-boyfriend now.
yeah.
What role did he make you play? Were you a support? Was he like, just stay here, heal me?
No, I remember playing Annie a lot in season one, so I figured I'd play Annie because she was the only champ I knew,
Okay,
and then I stick to mid. So
so you're a middle laner. What elo are you at currently in League of Legends?
I'm silver 5. I
Oh,
dropped to silver 5 last week before the season ended.
oh. It takes time, it takes practice. I mean, you'll eventually get there. Do you have future plans to keep climbing in League? Like getting higher, like gold,
I
platinum?
mean, I already climbed because in summer I was in bronze 5
Okay,
and I
that's
got myself into silver, so
holy
I'm
shit.
pretty proud of myself.
Bronze 5?
I was placed in bronze 3 and I was so bad. Like every time I tried to play ranked, I was so nervous, and that was probably the reason I was playing so bad. And then I was in bronze 5 and I was like, I can't. How's it called?
Can't get any lower.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, that you've went through elo hell supposedly.
Oh, yeah.
So was it frustrating because I personally have never been in bronze, so I guess I'm frustrated. I'm not even in bronze when I play with people, but was it frustrating when you start learning the game more? Was it frustrating that somebody else in the game would literally like run and do something so oblivious, like a 2-year-old was playing almost? Like, would that like infuriate you? Like, grr.
I mean, I try to always pick a carry role, so I always played locksmith, and yeah, I always carried my team, and also had the carry badge on NAOPGG.
That's
Yeah.
that's good though. Going from bronze to silver, that's a big leap, especially if you were all the way at bronze 5. So do you care? Do you now? Are you more relaxed when you play ranked, or
Oh yeah. I see it as a normal game now, so
well, that's good. So your addiction's still being fed. You're still playing League of Legends as it is.
yeah.
What do you think about the preseason changes or updates?
They're pretty interesting. Like I think every champ got stronger.
Okay.
Didn't really read the patch notes, so I don't know.
Don't worry. A majority of people don't read the patch notes and they're like, "Oh, this got changed while they're playing," and then you're like, "Oh my god, why?"
Yeah, I knew about the ADC changes, and I tried to play Caitlyn, but I suck. I suck at playing ADC, so
So you're still a mid laner as of right now.
no, I'm playing jungle pretty often.
Oh, you like jungle? I heard that's the most boring role right now in the season because it's hard to gank a lane or carry or get somebody steamrolling.
You can always carry when you play Shaco.
Shaco jungle, interesting. So you're more of a jungler now instead of a mid laner, or you just swap between the two?
Yeah, I just take what I get. I also play support a lot.
Hmm. What's your favorite champion in League of Legends?
Shaco!